Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to start with the business tour. So many of you know, late summer into the early fall, myself along with Mark Tully, we did the Pittsfield's best bars, restaurants, and pubs, or bars, taverns, and pubs tour, and that's something that it was a big success. We had a lot of fun, and because of that, I decided I wanted to do a overall business tour. We had so many requests come in for that. So I will be starting that, contacting people. I've already started contacting some of the businesses, so lining up and scheduling that. And I'll start with those probably next week. So if you own a Pittsfield business and you would like to be featured, contact me, direct message the page, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So to the ones that already did contact me, I'll be in touch with you very shortly to schedule. And that's kind of how I'm doing it, in order as they're coming in. I also will be putting up a new fundraiser for that business tour. It takes a lot of money to do those, and I boost every single one of those. So I put somewhere between $20 to $50 behind each video. The way Facebook works for business pages, you really have to boost them to reach any audience, to have it be effective. So I'll be putting that up as well sometime this week. The other thing I want to talk about is the City of Pittsfield's new website. So we have a new website called Love Pittsfield. I didn't hear anything about this until it actually popped up last week. They did a promo. I saw that they actually made some merchandise for it. I saw a picture of our Director of Public Works, or I'm not sure exactly what his title is. I think they've changed it from Public Works to something else, but Ricardo Morales wearing a Love Pittsfield hat. It's kind of interesting because if you remember, not that long ago, I think it was during the pandemic or right before the pandemic started, they launched another website called Business Pittsfield. And from City Hall, they did this big thing with balloons and had this huge celebration on the success of it. I've been following that website pretty regularly. It has not been updated or changed at all that I can see since its launch. And in fact, on the home page even, it has our population wrong. It has all the outdated information from 2019 on there. So hopefully, before they dive too much into this new one, they kind of make sure that that's running. And and the Love Pittsfield thing, as soon as you're typing it in, love, the first stuff that starts to pop up in the algorithms, the way Google and Bing and all those work, is dating sites. So I thought that was interesting. And then love, as you get to PITT, Love Pittsburgh comes up. So I'm not too sure about the name of that. I don't know why they chose that name. It should have been something, I would think something like that should have community involvement. Maybe they could have had a contest where students or graphic arts people could have submitted suggestions. The public in general, they could have put an online survey out through social media or something to people who wanted to participate in that and make it a community thing. Marketing campaigns are very, very important. And I don't know if they picked all the right ones on that. We'll see. I hope it gets more attention than Business Pittsfield gets. And it's weird that the key words that they're using, instead of putting Pittsfield first. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't want Pittsfield Love. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about the whole Love Pittsfield. It sounds like a dating game or something. But we'll see how that works out. Again, I hope the cost on it wasn't too much. And I'm sure the person who designed it put everything he had into it. But it just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I don't know if anybody knew this was happening or whatever. So hopefully that does a little bit better than Business Pittsfield, because we haven't heard any results on that. And like I said, if you go there, you'll see that it hasn't been updated at all in a long time. So they could definitely make some changes on there, because they're all pre-pandemic information that was posted on there. And the last thing I want to follow up with is the candidates. So we had an election, as most of you know. Voter turnout once the total numbers were tallied, even though it was kind of low turnout at the polls that day, early voting did get it up to 21%, and most people were predicting 14 to 17%. Some said 17 to 20. I said 20 to 23, and we hit 21%. Not great, but it was what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a little bit more than what most people were predicting. I mean, municipal elections are so important. In my opinion, they're far more important than national elections as far as immediate impact on your life. And with the issues at hand, with the ARPA funds that are in, with everyone had been complaining about North Street, if the number of people that complained about North Street actually voted, that could probably have already been changed. It would have sent a clear message. We're talking a new police station and the price tag of $50 million and upwards. Wastewater treatment plant, our city water. There's so many things. What's happening with the funding that's coming in from the tax on the marijuana sales? We've heard different suggestions in the beginning, for potholes, and so there's a lot of things that are being discussed, a lot of things on the table. That ARPA funds, which is the Federal American Rescue Act, due to the pandemic, $41 million is coming into the city of Pittsfield, and the mayor has decided to do closed-door meetings for that. So that's a big one. Our local paper did a piece yesterday or today, maybe it was just today's, it's online, so I don't think there's actually a paper yesterday or today, but talking about some of the new incoming counselors. And I will be interviewing Karen Kalinowski, who was recently, she is our at-large counselor-elect, Charles Cronick, who is the Ward 2 counselor-elect, and Kenny Warren, who is the Ward 1 counselor-elect. I'll be interviewing those three. But they did a piece on those three and Kevin Sherman, and I kind of don't like the way they wrote that up. They made it seem like the three were going against Mayor Tyer, and Kevin Sherman would be going with Mayor Tyer. And I don't think that's fair to any of them. From Kevin Sherman on up to Karen Kalinowski, I don't think that's fair at all. I think they're all elected by the people to represent the people. I believe Kevin Sherman is there for the best interest of the residents of Ward 3, not to say yes to everything on Mayor Tyer. I don't believe that at all. Kevin's a really smart guy that I think he's there to vote and to participate in voting on things that are best for his ward. Karen Kalinowski, her campaign was pretty clear. Kenny Warren, same thing. He's there for his constituents in Ward 1, and Charles Cronick, he will be there for his constituents in Ward 2. And I believe that with them. So I'm going to do interviews with all of them coming up very shortly on that. And the music thing I'm really pushing. If you haven't seen, or most of you probably noticed, I will be doing some more interviews. I did a really cool interview with Drew Fortier, who's the guitarist for a national act. It's in the heavy metal world. They're kind of a super group. It's I know the bass player David Ellefson doesn't like that term, but it's David Ellefson from Megadeth. Drew, who's played with Chuck Mosley from Faith No More and Bang Tango. Vinnie Dombrowski, the singer from Sponge. Many of you remember Sponge. They were really, really big in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then the drummer, Mike Heller, who plays for a ton of projects, but he's well known for being the drummer for Fear Factory. So I did an interview with Drew, the guitarist, yesterday, who's also a filmmaker. So if you haven't checked that out and you're interested, please do. And I will be interviewing Jerry Colvin, who owns Patient Zero Records, based out of Pittsfield. And that's a big national label. Jerry is growing considerably. And his family also, they own the Crossroads Cafe in Pittsfield. And they did a dinner yesterday, which is a fundraiser for their toy drive. And this concert they're doing coming up on the 13th, this coming weekend, which I'll be interviewing Jerry about, all the proceeds for that will also go to the toy drive that they do every year for underprivileged kids in the community. So that's huge, and it's a really great thing they do. So I'm excited to talk to him about that. and I'll be reaching out to a lot of our other local artists, and I have some other national artists that I'll be regularly putting into the mix. So just to break things up, I know everybody, politics all the time can wear you out, but there are a lot of important things going on that we have to keep discussing. So that is it for now. I'll be doing another video tomorrow, and like I said, keep your eyes out for the video coming up with Jerry from his show that they'll be doing at the Crossroads, sponsored through his record label, Patient Zero Records, and all that. So everyone, we have some nice weather this week. Enjoy it while it's here, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. Oh yeah, and don't forget, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure if you haven't liked the Facebook page, like or follow it, but definitely like and subscribe to the YouTube channel at YouTube It's Pittsfield Tonight. And now that's it for now. I'll catch y'all sometime tomorrow.